How you doing all? Gamekeeper John here. Right, we got a big video today. We got fork hunting, we got trick shots, we got a little bit of mooching, we've got a look at some of Matt Redding's cores, we got questions answered, we got info on the new PPMG Plus, which is very close to being released. But first of all, we'll start the video with a little fork hunting mooch I had with a good friend of mine. Hi guys, we're off on the fork hunt today. Finished a little bit earlier. Got a couple hours of light left. It's mid-October, still pretty nippy though. We've had a storm for the last couple of days, so we haven't been able to even get out. I'm just waiting outside Pelfrey's house now to pick him up. We've got a couple hours of light. We go into a woods I haven't been to for about 8 to 9 years, so I have no idea what to expect. It's a bit overgrown and a bit wild. Just waiting for Pelfrey to come out now, and we're going to head over there. Hopefully we get some yew forks, some ash forks, a couple of shots. We'll see what's there, but the objective is to go and get some forks. Hopefully, touch wood, we'll get some. So let's go and have a look. Well, Pelfrey's here now. He's on board, and he comes with no bands on his catapult. So he's got what looks like a brass PPSG. What's he brought? A target or something? Yeah. Target. Some crisps, some prawn cocktail crisps, and a roll of cotton. That is whipping bread in it. But yeah, he's just getting that banded up. Then we're going to head off to the woods and see if we can find us some forks. Well, we got to the woods now. We just walked up this big hill. It actually don't look that bad on camera, but believe me, it's a good old hill. Have a walk round now, see what we can find. Right, first fork we got a yew fork. For those who are wondering what yew looks like, grab one of these leaves. Can you see them here? Nice, we've got a fork here. We're going to snipe her down with a good old fisks. Sorry, I just took my cameraman out. Can you see the grain in this? I'll show you in a minute. It's a good old wood yew. It's got that beautiful grain in. If you have a close look at that, you can see it. Is it spalted? Well, I got a little sized one here, but because it ain't that thick. The good old trusty snips. Look at that, obviously I'll snip that off a bit off when I put the camera down so I won't be able to catch it. But that, well, I'll get it in a minute, we'll just snip it off. But yeah, these snips are ideal, to be fair, for fork hunting. See how thick that is. Oh, there she goes down there on the floor. But yeah, that's a nice little one. Nice traditional Y cup. Pelfrey on the other hand has got something a little bit bigger. Hold him up, Pelf. Nice chunky oversize, a lot of carving to do in that one.
Nice bit of oak. Nice
bit of oak, lovely. Well, Mr. Pelfrey's found himself another nice oversized. While he was cutting, I've just seen this. I like the thinner forks myself. Don't look too much on there, but that will be a little gem, that thing will. Lovely fork, that one, something about it. Some nice knots on it. Almost like a side shooter. Really nice, that offset handle. Will make a beauty. A little cracker here. Nice little junior size ash fork. Look at that for a little cup. Take that one off. It's not a fully sized, be a junior one, but the perfect cup when he's pulled in. Got several of these mini ash and laburnum forks which pull in. I'll just show you how they pull in into cups. Well, when I'm back later, I'll pull them all in and show you. Also just found this one. Nice even fork. It's another one that's going to be coming home with me. Right, I've kind of lost Pelfrey. Well, I can see him, but he's right down there somewhere. I've heard his saw going, so I'd say he's got a few. I've had a few anyway. We'll once we meet up in a bit, we'll have a look and see what we got. But it's looking like we could have a good haul of forks today, to be honest. So we'll keep looking for another 10-20 minutes, see what it's about, and then we'll have a few shots, see what forks we got. Here he is. I found him. You found many, mate, or no? I've had a few. A few, yeah. I've only had like skinny ones, nothing oversized too much. But I've got quite a few, to be honest, considering we've only been up here half hour or so. It's always good getting your forks as well off the trees like this that have snapped down because they're already pretty much dried out and might have started spalting. Just be careful that they ain't rotten. But you normally find the spalt in these. You can see the spalt now in that bit there. Throws out some amazing patterns, to be honest. And it looks like he's got himself a nice oversize out of it. I can see the spalt in some of that already. Right, the fork is just cut. Oh, get the camera on it. You can see the spalt in. Comes out beautiful when worked, as Pelfrey would know, don't it, mate?
I don't know. Ask Tony Standish or Martin Coleman.
Yeah, that'll tell you. Lovely little cup here I just got. Look at that. Started to spalt there, but that's just all part of the character, innit? Be a really nice fork when done. Now I'm looking forward to finishing that one, to be honest. Right, not the best camera angle in the world, so I ain't got the tripod and there ain't much room to shoot. But I don't know if you can see here or not, we've got some chalk discs and a spinner. We're just going to try and blast the chalks for a minute or two. Fingers crossed we get them. Yeah, that's the spinner. Chalk, 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 chalk. Let's have a crack. Get up then.
He's good at it.
Come on then. Well, good start anyway. Boom. Looks a bit treacherous down here. If I ain't too sure where we're heading, but we know the castle's over that way and we're somewhere down there. So, let's see. Well, I was going to stick to the path, but no. Get down the slope, he said. Cut a few more forks anyway. It's had that nice little offset one. No, that's the offset one, sorry. Did you nearly get them? Yeah, the terrain on the floor is not very good. It's sort of slippy and slimy. Loads of what, sorry? Oh, the field's just here, so we're nearly down there. Well, we're going to head back to the car now.
Find another spot.
Find another spot, maybe.
Not the one on the back of my head.
Not the one on the back of my head, he says. Can anybody else see that? Looks like a naked person. 2 legs, the knee stuck out and an ass. There's the back turn round. Or is it just me and my strange mind? Can you see it? Let me know in the comments. Right, we just got back to the car. Here's what we got. We decided, because it's only early, we went up there long, we're going to go to another little woods. These are all mine. As you tell, with different styles, to be fair. I prefer the skinny ones. He prefers these fat ones to carve. Nothing wrong with that. I do like carving them now and then, but they take a lot of time up. I prefer the nice simple ones. So we got them, which is good. We're going to get up to the other woods now and have a look what's over there. So the bags are empty, we're ready to roll again. Right, we're off to the new Woodland. I have no idea where it is. Pelfrey's took me. We've been on this lane 10 minutes so far. Let's have a look where we're going. After some forks. Let's see what's about. Hopefully we'll get a few more. We've got another hour of light. Nice bit of country up here though.
That's where we're going, up the top of them woods.
Up the top of there we're off. See what's up there.
Somewhere up there.
Come on ladies, move out the way. Chop chop. Right then. After driving up this lane, which was like a dirt path about an inch wider than the car for about 20 minutes, to this place that he knew, we've got up here and it's all blocked off, and the best thing about it, there's hardly any trees, it's just hills and grass. He told me there'll be a load of forks up here. And it's all blocked off. But how many years ago was it since you come off?
3 years.
3 years ago, yeah, it's all changed now. So needless to say, we're turning around and going home. Oh well. Well, we got some good forks on that mooch. A lot of them are at home now, seasoning and drying out. Cores, I want to talk to you about cores. These are from a good friend of mine, Matt Reddin. I just want to show the quality of the cores that Matt sells. This is the HH and this is the Colt. The way they're machine cut, you know, the quality of these cores, you got to check them out. Matt Reddin on the Catapult Facebook groups. The Colt and the HH are absolutely, well, they're as good as a core can get. You couldn't get any better. He's a good friend, Matt, and a very good shooter as well. Does a lot of hunting and shooting. and he supplies these cores to anybody who wants to buy one. So check them out, get to them. Matt Redding on the Facebook groups, you got to check them out. Now, do you remember a few mooches ago I was trying to do this mouse shot video off the mousetrap, taking the coin off? And I've done it with lighter stuff such as foam balls and light stuff, but the coin, the weight of the coin, I couldn't quite get it. Well, we had another attempt the other day and this happened. 1p on a mousetrap. Got it. Right. Oh yes, just find a stick to set that off. We got it. Yes, the mousetrap shot. Happy days, we got it. That was harder than I thought, because the coin is pretty heavy, so every time the coin comes off it moves the trap. I've had a few attempts, I ain't gonna lie, over time. I've done it with light stuff like bits of fluff and, you know, little light bits of plastic and foam, but the coin, because of the weight of the coin, it's hard. But we got it. Hey, we did it. That mousetrap shot has took some doing. It's done my head in, but we finally pulled it off. Right, do you remember a few videos ago I asked everybody if they had a question regarding catapults, from anything from ammo, shooting, hunting, frames, anything? Ask us a question. Well, next we're going to answer the questions. We got absolutely inundated with messages, so we couldn't answer them all. So if your question hasn't been answered, I'm sorry, it will do in some future videos, but not this one. So we've selected it down to a few, and here is your questions answered. Questions answered. I asked a poll on YouTube about 2 or 3 weeks ago, something like that. If you want a question and you want us to answer it, shout it out on YouTube on the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer it. Now, I can't answer every comment because you know, there's just too many and a lot of them are very similar. We're going to have the next 5 or 10 minutes and we're going to answer some of your questions. So without further ado, the first one is from Jason265. Why is your name Gamekeeper John when you're not a gamekeeper? Well, it wasn't actually a name that I gave myself this. I'll start from the beginning and explain exactly how I ended up being called Gamekeeper John. When I first started making catapults about 10, 11 years ago, I started doing my first board cuts. I've always made catapults. It was about, I think, between 9 and 11 years ago I started doing board cuts and bringing out what I would call a brand. So I wanted my name, and it was actually supposed to be called Game Killer, hence kills games. So it was going to be Game Killer Catapults. And somewhere along the lines of me posting it when I released it, loads of people must have either heard what I said in the video and thought that I said Gamekeeper Catapults, when in fact, I actually said Game Killer. So everyone was going, oh, this is the new ones, this is Gamekeeper Catapults, and it was shared and posted stuff, and I thought, you know what, Gamekeeper Catapults ain't a bad name, we'll just go with it, because it keeps game as well as kills game, I suppose, doesn't it? So we went with Gamekeeper Catapults. So it wasn't actually me that named it Gamekeeper Catapults, it was supposed to be called Game Killer Catapults. At the time I never knew it would end up to be, you know, my own business, full-time job, shipping parcels, hundreds every week around the world. I didn't think it would be that, otherwise I might have, you know, been a little bit more arsed to what I called it and that. But yeah, it was called Game Killer by me. Some people heard it wrong, and next thing you know, everybody's calling it Gamekeeper, so I just went with the flow. And that's sort of where the name Gamekeeper John come from. I used to be very active on the Slingshot forum about, again, 9-10 years ago. I had my own vendor section on there. This was back in the time when Jorg Sprave was on there regular, he was admin and all that, going back 9-10 years ago. I bet a lot of people won't remember. And at the time it was, I don't know if it is now, it was mainly American members and stuff, and they all started calling me GKJ. And at first even I didn't know what it was. I was like, thanks GKJ, or thanks very much. Then I later found out that was all referring to me as Gamekeeper John from Gamekeeper Catapults, and the name just stuck. Everybody started calling it me, so the name Gamekeeper Catapults and my sort of, I don't know, stage name, would you call it, what people call me, Gamekeeper John, was not actually made up by me. I just went with it, and it was, well, it was basically you lot that named it Gamekeeper Catapults and called me Gamekeeper John. So that is the question, Jason. That is the answer why I'm called Gamekeeper John, but I'm not an actual gamekeeper. Good question. Next question, asked by Chris Pepra. Are flat bands better than tubing bands? Well, this is an age-old argument. Personally, I'm going to put my head on the line and say yes. They react better, they can be faster, and they can be more consistent and accurate. Just put it into perspective. 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago, there was this argument on the groups and comps. And it was pretty much 50-50. Half said tubes and half said flat bands. And a couple of years ago, I would have said they're both the same. Nowadays, I'm going to say 90 to 95% of people at the comps I know shoot flat bands. It might be even higher than that. You rarely see people using tubes now. This doesn't mean that tubes aren't no good, because I've witnessed people like Jumbo and Gary Moxon at the shoots and that hitting maximum scores with tubes. So it doesn't mean that they're not as good, but my personal opinion, flat bands are better. They shoot better, they can be faster. More people are using them. And you know, not forgetting with a flat band, you can cut your bands 20 to 15mm, 22 to 8mm, 16 to 7mm, 30 to 29mm. You know, there's so many different ways you can get it to tweak that band just for you. Whereas tubes, you are limited. Even though there's loads of different size tubes, you are kind of limited to one or the other. Whereas flat bands, flat bands, you can make them to suit. So my answer to that one is yeah, flat bands are better. But that is just my answer, and I think a lot of people will agree, but it doesn't mean that tubes aren't no good, because in the right hands with the right tube, they're as good as anything. Ryan Groh, I think that's how you spell it, G-R-O-H, Ryan Groh, has asked for the best overall band set for the PPMG, and thoughts on the best GZK thickness for 9.5mm stills. Well, the best bands for the PPMG, they've got wide tips, so I'd say a nice wide single will suit them better than thin doubles or tubes or anything, because they're made to take wide taper singles. When I say wide, I mean anything from 25 up to 35mm. Then, you know, I don't even know where mine is, or I'd show you, but the chunky tips. And thoughts on the best GZK thickness for 9.5 steel? Well, I am actually, by the time this video goes on my YouTube, you'll probably already know that I will be selling GZK band sets pre-made. It's actually on order now. What's the date now? The date today is the 19th of October, and it's due anytime within the next few days. So by the time this video is aired, I'll have the bands out. 0.76 is my preferred. It's not too thin and it's not too thick. I think that's about the best overall thickness from GZK. Personally, that's why that's the one I'm stocking. I've tried the thinner, I like it. I've tried the thicker, I also like it. But 0.76 seems to be about in the middle. It's good for, you know, consistency. It doesn't flump like the thick stuff. It's nice and light. It's still super fast. So for me, I would say the 0.76. And you also asked, will you be selling pre-made GZK TTF band sets? Yes, Ryan. By the time this video is aired, they'll probably be all over my eBay shop and all over my website. So be sure to check them out. But I'm pretty certain they'll be in stock and for sale before this video is aired. So now, check them out on our eBay. Next question, Gary Wixon, over from in the United States. How you doing, buddy? He's asked a couple of questions. Have you tried the new fibre pouches? They're called fibre pouches, the microfiber ones. They was actually around several years ago before they seem to have come back out again. A lot of people, I don't know, my mate Darren Godfrey Dunk, he used to have loads of them going back years and years. Now was in then they went out, now they seem to be back in again. I've got nothing against microfiber. It's just not my cup of tea. I will actually be stocking them as well, because loads of people want them, but me personally, I don't think you can beat a traditional hide, a good strong soft hide. I just don't think you can beat the traditional leather. I don't like some of the fibre ones, the way they're very strong and they shoot well, but sometimes they fluff up. I'm not saying all microfiber pouches do that. Sometimes a good leather pouch will do it as well. But, you know, for me, it has to be a good quality leather hide pouch. I don't think you can beat it. Any plans for making future catapults dedicated to loop tubes? Gary Wixon said. I've done a couple with Pete in the past, collaborations in aluminium and that. It's hard for me because I work mainly with wood, and even though I have done them in the past and the multiplex is strong enough for loop tubes, you know, it suits metal catapults and moulded catapults better. Plus, hardly anybody shoots tubes, so it's like, if I'm bringing stuff out, I want to be bringing it out what's in trend and what people are using. I don't know many people at all that shoot loop tubes, so it's not going to be a route that I go down designing stuff, bringing out, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so no, sorry Gary. And thanks for your answers. No problem, Gary. Thank you for the questions. Just to say, if anybody wants any questions answered, feel free to comment, put them down, and maybe in the next video when we do, so we're going to be doing these big vlog type videos now, we'll try our best to get them answered. I'm sorry if I don't answer your question because there is so many, but I will try my best. Barry Boyd. Hello John, have you ever tried or heard of anyone using heavy pole fishing elastic for catapults? Do you think they would work? Well, elastic's elastic really. It's definitely going to work. The question is, how good will it work? Now I know years and years and years ago I used to buy the thin elastic, probably about 3mm, for the mini buffalo horn and deer antler catapults I used to use for the juniors, and it shot good, so I dare say if you got the heavy duty stuff, it would shoot really well. You know, elastic's elastic. All you can do really is try it. I can't answer that too much, but I might order some and try it in one of the next videos or something, yeah. So cheers Barry Boyd, good question. Herma1 has sent a question. Hi John, any updates on your new Ergo Excalibur going into production? That's sort of been delayed because, well, I will say it now, there is a new PPMG coming out. It's called the PPMG Plus. It's been designed for about the last month or so. I've actually got the pattern in this drawer here, but I'm sorry, nobody's seen it. Pete's seen it, it's going to him. It's got a better web grip, it's got slim down tips, it's got better grooves around the sides, it's got a slimmer handle. It's heavily based on the PPMG. It's going to be called the PPMG Plus. From about the time you see this video, it will probably be about 4 or 5 weeks away from going into production. That'll all be in aluminium, bronze and brass, etched, engraved and numbered 1 to however many they sell. But yeah, I can't show it yet. It was supposed to, well, it is a secret because nobody's seen it, but I don't mind people knowing what's coming because you've asked about the new stuff. It's called the PPMG Plus, and 3 people who shoot who come round my house, everybody who has held it has put it in their hand and gone, wow, I didn't think you could make the PPMG any more comfortable. And well, believe me, you'll see it when it comes out. This is spot on, even if I say so myself. Joseph Herberth. Hi John, has asked a question. Hi John, I've been shooting slingshots for about a year and a half. I use Ferroband Gold and my ammo are steel balls from 8 to 12mm. I'm thinking of trying Ferroband Red Tube. What do you think about it? Will it work? Well, I actually used to sell Ferroband. Oh, I've just locked my phone now. I'm going to lose all your questions. Anyway, I used to sell Ferroband Tube, and then when the Ferroband formula changed on the flat bands, I think I did something to the tubes, and I actually chroned them. I think the video is still somewhere on my YouTube. And the Ferroband tubing, you know, they are absolutely shocking. For the draw weight, they are so slow. Don't get me wrong, if you're shooting very big ammo like stones or rocks, that would probably last you 5 years or something, but it's definitely not something I'd recommend, Ferroband tube. And it's definitely something that I wouldn't shoot. If I thought that was any good or even worth doing, I would be stocking and selling them, but you know, I personally steer away from the Ferroband tube. That's just my opinion though. David Boyd, how you doing buddy? GZK bands. Hi, can you tell me what thickness is the optimum for power and long lasting? You see, the powerful the bands, the less they last, and on the other hand, the less they last, the less powerful they are. So there's a balance in between. It all depends what taper you cut out more so, and matching the bands to the ammo correctly. So it's really hard to say. You know, you got to go somewhere in the middle, haven't you? You know, obviously the thicker the band, the better it will last, but the thinner the band, the easier to shoot, and some thinner bands are much more faster than the thicker ones. It's an impossible question to answer really, but I would say somewhere in between the 0.76 and the 0.8. That would be, I wouldn't go much thicker and I wouldn't go much thinner. I'd be around that area. It's sort of in the middle. You get good speed, you get good draw weight, and you get, you know, very good longevity out of it. So that's what I would say. Governors has said, do you ever get bored of the PPMG? Think you will ever change it up? Thanks, Nick. As you probably heard a couple of minutes ago, there's a new PPMG Plus coming out, and I can tell you now I will have no hesitation swapping from the PPMG to this Catapult. So yes, I will be on a new shooter soon. Around about just before Christmas or just after Christmas, my PPMG will be retired in the cupboard into my cabinet, and yes, I will be changing. Bobby Z Novis24 has asked, have you used Can-Do exercise band as a cheaper alternative to TheraBand? And if so, have you noticed major differences between the two? Personally, no, I haven't used it, but I have used stuff like the 66 Fit, Asda do bands, Tesco do, I think the Aldi and the Lidl do exercise bands. They all work, and to be fair, they work pretty damn good. I've never tried that one, but they do work. So basically, try them. Some are better than others. You know, some are a bit faster, some will last longer. Always go for the thicker ones as well, I've found. But yeah, they do work. They work pretty good, the exercise bands. You know, TheraBand is only an exercise band at the end of the day. And that's arguably the most consistent and most used elastic on the market, and has been for about the last 10 years. Brad Ostick has said, oh, he just sent me another message as well saying my name is Brandon, by the way, so cheers Brandon. I've been watching your videos recently and I've been inspired to make a slingshot. I found a nice piece of dead wood. Attached double TheraBand gold and the velocity seems quite slow with a 9.5mm steel ball. Any suggestions of why? Thanks in advance. Right, I'll see if I can grab a catapult. Right, here we go. I don't use this, it's just a collector's piece. That's why it's a 1980s old Diablo. Right, to get to what I think your problem could be, because the double TheraBand gold will without doubt launch 9.5 steel super fast. So the band you've got on is right. What I think it could be, your bands could be too long. If I just move back, and what you are doing is when you're pulling back, you're stopping there when really your bands could come all the way back to there. So basically, just say for example from the tip of the catapult to the pouch, that's about 10 inch. You might have your draw length too long. I have a full video on this in my how-to section if you look at catapult draw length, which will put you right. But just for, you know, just to start off, try shortening your bands by 1 inch or 2. So when you pull back, you are maxed out when you get to here, and there's not much more give, or not loads, not nothing like that anyway. You only want a little bit of give. I think, Brandon, that is what your problem could be. There's no doubt at all double TheraBand gold with 9.5 steel will launch it at very good speeds. So if you're not getting power, I don't see why there could be another reason, unless you've got a massive heavy pouch on which would slow the shot down, unless it's a really big parachute type pouch. But all I can think of is you've got your bands cut too long for where you draw into, and then you're not stretching the bands out above 80-90%, and then you're losing a lot of power. That is all I can think, buddy. So hopefully that will put you right. Smoky Fishing has asked, novice ways to improve shooting apart from practice. Well, if you're not practicing, the only other way you can learn without a slingshot in your hand is to watch my videos. There's loads of how-tos on YouTube for loads of different styles. You know, I've got a couple which, without shooting the catapult, I'm pretty sure you could watch and learn quite a lot about it, to be honest, and learn how to improve. Also watch the other YouTubers' videos, because you know we've all got different styles and different ways we do stuff, and although my stuff works for me and thousands of the people who watch the videos and stuff, sometimes another person's style who do how-to videos might work for them. So you know, mix it up, watch videos, that's all I can say. Study other shooters. If you're lucky enough to watch people shooting, you'll see the consistency, the same stance, grip, anchor, reference. You know, consistency is key. So yeah, videos, study other shooters, and don't put pressure on yourself. You know, enjoy it. You know, that's why we all shoot catapults at the end of the day, to enjoy. So chill out, nice and easy, no pressure on yourself. Right, unfortunately this is going to be the last question. I've still got about another 10 or so after this, and then there's another page of them, so I'm not going to get through them all. I am sorry. I will try and get through them in the next one, the ones that I haven't answered in here. If you want a question answered, then shout it out in the comments here, and the next video I'll do my best to do it, or we might even have a dedicated questions answered video if we get enough. Right, the last question is from Northwest Bushcrafter. Your tips on shooting and accuracy have been a big help, pal. Cheers. No problem, buddy. Would love to know what the cause of hand slaps I'm getting. Is it to do with poor release or catty and bands not being at 90 degrees? Cheers. Hand slaps can be caused by a lot of things. Shooting over the top, you're more prone to getting hand slaps, but that's just, excuse me, sorry, that might not be the full reason. Having the ammo too light for the bands will cause hand slap. Having a big heavy pouch will cause hand slap. Sometimes flipping can flip it round and cause hand slap. having your bands too long for your draw can sometimes cause hand slap. There's many reasons, and sometimes certain catapults, the way they're banded and the style you shoot, it's impossible to get away from hand slap. So there's many reasons. I don't know if I've done a video covering hand slap or not. I might have done, you know. You'll have to check in my A2 section. I've got nearly 700 videos, so it's hard for me to, you know, remember every one I've done. But if not, I will get through it in one of my next big videos like this. We'll have a little 5 minutes section on hand slaps and how to avoid them and, you know, reduce them basically and eliminate them from your shooting. So yeah, we'll get that sorted. So we've still got loads of comments. Look, these are all questions. I was literally, oh, it's not even on the camera. I literally cannot keep up with all these. There's loads on other videos as well, so we will try and get through them. You know, we're just busy. This is the first video we've done for a few months, and we're still busy as anything. So yeah, questions will be coming back to be answered soon, so get them away, fire them down in the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer them all. Cheers! So, hope you like the questions answered. As I say, we'll be doing another big video like this soon with loads of stuff happening. Sorry I haven't uploaded for a long time. We've just had so much on. I have been doing bits of filming, but by the time I've finished in the workshop, it's dark at night, and you know, we've been putting bits together in this video, so we've got to film for you. Right, what was I going to say? We're 27,000 subscribers a week or two ago. I want to thank everybody for that. I've just looked on my phone now, and we've had literally another 300 subscribers in the last week or two. So even though I'm not active, the channel is growing at a fast rate and constantly picking up momentum. So I want to say thank you to everybody for that. If you haven't already subscribed and you like this type of video, subscribe. You'll be the first to see all our future videos. Don't forget to hit that bell icon, and you'll get notified when we upload videos, and you'll never have to miss another again. Next, I wanted to talk to you about the PPMG Plus. Oh, it's nice. I've actually had in my hands now the first proto cast model, and it's just amazing. It really, really is. Just stay tuned, give it a couple of weeks or so, that will be in the public eye. It's based heavily on the PPMG. It has a better grip, it has a better handle, the tips are slimmed down, it's every improvement you could possibly do on the PPMG is on the PPMG Plus. So stay tuned and looking out for that. Like I say, subscribe, like, give us a wave. I'll see you all in the next video. I hope you all have a good Christmas.